Leaf here, and welcome to my craft room. It is a windy, cold day in the very end of February here in Virginia, and I decided I would do a craft room tour to just give you an idea of what all I have in here. This is the first room when you walk into the house, which is unfortunate because it's usually the most messy, but this was like an extra bonus room, and I kind of took it over to be my craft room. And I started out making baby blankets and patchwork blankets and little sewing craft type things. And it has evolved to all my other crafts that I do. And unfortunately, even though this is a fairly large room, I don't feel that it's big enough. I wish that it was probably twice this size, but then I'd probably have twice as much stuff. So we're going to give you a nice little tour of the Wilted Leaf Nursery and see what all I have in here and how it's set up. So the first thing that I have in here is up on the wall, of course, is Live Simply. And I have these awesome old owls. They belong to William's grandmother. When she passed away, I inherited them and thought that was the most perfect place for them to kind of remember her by. And then I have this really awesome little entertainment center hutch, and William got me that for Christmas because I wanted some place to put a TV that I could watch TV. Mostly it's kind of like backroom noise when you're working. And my mom gave me this doll. She's plastic, she's not porcelain. It's an older doll, and she just kind of is here for decoration. And of course, I have all the movies that I typically watch up here with me. I don't have cable set to it. I kind of wish I did. But right now, I just have movies. And then over on this shelf is one part of the nursery where I have my reborn dolls sitting and waiting. They're waiting for adoption. And up here sleeping is the Tabitha kit. And that could be a boy or a girl. Super cute. And then this is the Blaze kit. And I've named her Rosemary because she's kind of a zombie virus baby. And I just love these curl toes. Those are like my favorite thing, is the little curl toes. And then, of course, on the next shelf, we have Victoria Angelique, which, as you know, is my vampire baby. And she's all snuggly warm in her little pink sleeper, taking her a good nap. And this is like the sleeping rack because everybody's sleeping here. But this is Mila, and she's an ultra limited edition preemie baby. And she has some really great details on her. And there's her little face, and she's taken her a good little sleep and her little feet. And then beside her is the Clover baby, which is also preemie. This is a little bit larger preemie. And he's snoozing. I guess it is nap time. It's probably about 1 o'clock right now. And then these are my prop blankets that I use for when I take pictures, or I might use the material in a fidget blanket. Then in my messy closet, I've took this over, and on the top, I have all my photo albums, which people don't really take pictures anymore, or they do, and they're just digital, and they upload them on the computer. They don't actually print them out. But I guess this is the old school of what it looks like. Now you have all these pictures, and it's kind of like, what do you do with them all? Some of these belong to my grandmother, and then the others are my family pictures, and of course William's as well. That's why there's so many of them. In fact, these two containers are just pictures filled. They're not in albums. And eventually I will find a better way to preserve them instead of putting them up there. I do have most of them scanned onto disc, so I have the pictures in another media format. And then hanging on the rack are the really nice, mostly new clothes that I send the reborns home in. And they're all mixed sizes and boys and girls. I recently got a bunch of preemie outfits, and They're all up here. And then some I just find and think is super cute and get them and hang them in here, keep them clean. And then all the boxes have my sewing material in. I used to have them folded out into the craft room, but when I started doing more reborning than doing baby blankets, I put them up and the boxes are marked by color so I can easily find what I'm looking for. And of course we have extra clothes and toys and baby blankets down in there. And then I got a super comfy chair for in here, so I'm not in here all by myself, and have a little bit of company, and people, the kids and William will come in and watch movies with me while I'm working on a doll, so I don't feel so isolated from the rest of the house. And then up here we have the wine kit, which is my toddler sitting, and she's waiting for adoption. And then up on the wall you'll see the two needle points. One's for Austin and one's for Nicole. I'm going to eventually get one for Rebecca and then put them across the wall there. So back over here, I have another curio cabinet. And I have my kitties. And this picture is probably 2 years old. You have Austin, Nicole, and Rebecca laying across their lap. And then there they are again. Lots of cute pictures. It's hard to believe that these are teenagers now. And inside, oh, this my aunt made. And I do not know how to do this type of crochet work, but I think it is absolutely beautiful. And it takes a lot of time. So I have that there. And then in here, I have the blankets that I have completed, and they're on my Etsy store waiting to be shipped out. And of course I have some extra craft stuff. Obviously you see a pile of needlepoint in there, and some other craft kits are in there. And then down here in the crib we have two newborns waiting for adoption. You have the Lily kit here. She's got her passy. And we have sleeping Sophie. All right. And I love this. This is a little child's crib. One of the older things. I love old antique things. And I love homemade things. Those are my favorite. And then I have a tote that has all my shipping supplies in. Lots of tissue paper, lots of bubble wrap, and then I have my tote of diapers. And then in this one we have some kits. We have some handmade type clothes and some more diapers. And these are some older outfits, like from the 70s and 80s. So they're vintage clothes in there. And then over here I have more kits. All of these have different kits in here. I try to make sure if they have CEOs, they stay with them. They're all kept in these plastic containers to keep them clean. And then over here, of course, there's my sewing machine. I don't use it near as much as I used to. And I do miss sewing. Sewing is my absolute favorite hobby. Then I have lots of craft magazines. Clothes that I try on the babies to take pictures of. Different sizes. Here you have a tote of bibs. Hair ties. Lots of hairs. Lots of pacifiers, a swaddler, hats, shoes, and these are newborn clothes. A whole entire bin of socks. Lots and lots of socks. If I find them on sale or at yard sales, I grab them up. Then we have some blankets. We have some kits. And the bottles I have in the closet as well. I didn't show that. These are preemie clothes. I have them separated in sizes. Then William made me this awesome thread holder. And I love it. And of course there's some of my favorite pictures of all time. At the top is me and Rebecca. And then Nicole. And the bottom is me and my dad. And then there you can see some sewing stuff and some crochet type stuff. I have a whole box of yarn that's also in the closet. I don't really crochet that much, but I wish I did because I think crochet baby clothes is the cutest thing ever. So then on these shelves you have buttons. These are some cute little things that I have. This bear is handmade. And see, there we go. And the person who made this was 93 years old. She passed away from, well, not from Alzheimer's, but she had Alzheimer's. But one of the things that she remembered how to do was to make these bears. And even though the bear is not that old, it's maybe 5 years old, it looks old because she remembered to make him in the old-fashioned way. So it's an older style bear, which I just absolutely love. So I just think that's an awesome thing to have something that she made. And then this Raggedy Ann, my cousin has a primitive store. And so to support her, I went out there, and of course I had to get a baby, and that's what she had. And then over here, I got this from a trade, which I normally do not do trades, but I had a doll that someone liked, and she creates these awesome little figures, and she had one bigger, and I asked her, you know, could she make one smaller, and she did. And this is completely one of a kind, handmade. This is like clay material that she had to hand sculpt and made the body for. And then this cute little baby I won on a Facebook drawing. And this is made out of polymer clay. Absolutely adorable. So I just have them together. And then all of these books have quilting patterns in them, along with all of these books have quilting patterns. And then of course I have scrapbooking at the top and scrapbooking here. I don't really scrapbook, but I'm hoping one day I will, you know. And then like all this is scrapbooking. And then you have my odds and ends. Mostly it's quilting magazines and scrapbooking. My babies, when they go home, they get cards with them. All my Scentsy stuff. I love Scentsy. And then I have scrap material down at the bottom along with my polyfill. Obviously, I have my new wave oven beside me for when I'm doing reborn dolls. Here I have more craft stuff. I have my glass beads that go in my babies. So if you ever wanted to know what that looks like, that is what that looks like. I buy it in bulk. And some other supplies for the reborn dolls. Scale, gotta know how much they weigh. And then pantyhose is what I use to hold the glass beads in, some extra bottles. Here's a reborn bottle that has the fabric softener in it. And here are my business cards that I just got. So I'm pretty happy with them. I'm planning on doing some craft shows. There we go. I thought it looked awesome. And then I also got a banner for the table. the Mona Lisa thinner. That's what I use to thin my Genesis paints with. Some extra sponges, some needlepoint material. And then, of course, my table. You know, here's my paintbrushes. This is full of my paint and sponges, my thinner. You know, this is a painting thing that I got, and I put dowel rods in to hold up limbs. Currently working on rooting this baby's head. And there you can see. It looks a mess right now. I'm doing the hair really long, and when I get done, I will cut it and shape it the way that I want. But I've been micro rooting this hair, and it's been taking a very, very long time to do, especially with this really fine mohair that I've gotten. So there, it looks a little better. This is a cute baby. This is Joy. She's got bright blue eyes and sticking her little tongue out. She's going to be cute. And of course, then I have my computer, and I have an extra light lamp if I need some more light. And that's about it. That's my craft room. I'd love to see what your room looks like. Oh, and then of course I have the camera there if I do videos. Occasionally I do them, put them on YouTube. Oh, and I have a ribbon rack that William made me. So that's really nice. And of course I have my table, ironing table. And some more. Those boxes have all my packing peanuts and stuff in for when I send stuff out. So that's my room. I love to see what you have going on, and maybe we'll get some ideas and tell me what you think. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. And until next time, bye.